Have you ever been told your dreams are too big? That you should settle for less because of where you come from or what you have? Maybe you felt the sting of laughter when you dared to share your hopes. If you have, this story is for you, because sometimes the world's doubt is the very fire that forges your destiny. Charles was the only child of his parents, living in a small, weathered house on the edge of a quiet American town. His father, Mr. Miller, worked as a night guard at a local factory. His mother, Mrs. Miller, took care of the home, stretching every dollar to make sure there was always a warm meal on the table. Life was not easy, but their home was filled with love, laughter, and hope. From a young age, Charles understood the value of hard work. He would often wake up before sunrise to help his father with odd jobs, mowing lawns, shoveling snow, or carrying groceries for neighbors. Every penny counted. But Charles was not just a helper, he was a dreamer. He loved to read, to learn, and to imagine a life where he could do something truly meaningful. His favorite place was the small public library in town. The librarian, Mrs. Carter, noticed how Charles devoured every book he could find, especially those about science, medicine, and great inventors. "You have a bright mind, Charles," she would say. "Don't let anyone tell you otherwise." But dreams are not always easy to chase, especially when reality is heavy. One winter, when Charles was just 12, he fell seriously ill. The local clinic was small and underfunded. The doctors did their best, but soon told his parents that Charles needed treatment in the city. The cost was overwhelming. Mr. Miller worked double shifts, and Mrs. Miller sold her wedding ring to pay for the bus fare and medicine. Charles spent weeks in a city hospital, fighting for his life. He saw children like himself, some getting better, some not. He saw parents sleeping on benches, praying for miracles. He saw doctors and nurses working tirelessly, sometimes with little more than hope and determination. Charles survived, but the experience changed him forever. When he returned home, he was weaker, but his spirit was stronger. He promised himself that one day he would build a hospital in his town, a place where no child would be turned away, and no parent would have to choose between hope and money. Back at school, Charles threw himself into his studies. He was quiet, focused, and determined. But not everyone understood his drive. One day, his teacher, Mr. Thompson, asked the class about their future plans. Some wanted to be teachers, others police officers. A few dreamed of owning small businesses. When it was Charles's turn, he stood up and said, "I want to become a doctor and build a hospital in our town, so everyone can get the care they need for free." The classroom fell silent for a moment, then erupted in laughter. Even Mr. Thompson smiled and shook his head. "Charles, it's good to have dreams, but you need to be realistic. You come from a poor family. Building a hospital is not something people like us can do. Aim for something you can actually achieve. Don't set yourself up for disappointment." Charles felt the sting of those words, but he did not let them break him. He looked at his teacher and said, "Sir, I believe that if I work hard and stay honest, I can do anything. I may not have much, but I have a dream, and I will do my best to make it real." The years passed. Charles studied harder than ever. He worked after school, saved every dollar, and applied for scholarships. He faced setbacks. Sometimes he failed tests. Sometimes he was too tired to study. Sometimes he wondered if his teacher was right. But every time he felt like giving up, He remembered the faces of the children in the city hospital and the promise he made to himself. After high school, Charles earned a scholarship to a university in the city. He worked part-time jobs, washing dishes, delivering newspapers, tutoring younger students. He lived in a tiny apartment, ate simple meals, and spent every free moment in the library or the lab. Medical school was even harder. The classes were tough, the hours long, and the competition fierce. But Charles never lost sight of his goal. Sometimes he would call home and hear the pride in his parents' voices. "We believe in you, son," his father would say. "You're already making us proud." Those words were fuel for his journey. Years went by. Charles graduated from medical school, completed his residency, and became a respected doctor. But he never forgot his dream. He saved money, applied for grants, and reached out to charities and organizations that supported rural health care. It took years of planning, paperwork, and persistence, but finally, the day came when construction began on a new hospital in his hometown. The hospital was not just a building. It was a symbol of hope. It had bright, clean rooms, modern equipment, and a staff that cared deeply for every patient. Charles made sure that no one was ever turned away for lack of money. He started free health camps, offered scholarships to local students, and created jobs for people in the community. One spring morning, many years after that day in the classroom, Mr. Thompson, now retired and living in the city, fell seriously ill. The doctors advised him to seek treatment in a nearby town, where a new hospital had recently opened. Mr. Thompson arrived, weak and anxious, and was amazed by the beautiful building and the kindness of the staff. After a few days of excellent care, Mr. Thompson was ready to go home. As he was leaving, a young doctor approached him with a warm smile. "Good morning, sir. I hope you're feeling better." Mr. Thompson looked at the doctor, trying to place the familiar face. The doctor extended his hand and said, "Do you remember me, sir? I'm Charles, the boy who once dreamed of building a hospital in our town." Mr. Thompson's eyes widened in disbelief. He stood up, tears filling his eyes. "Charles, I can't believe it. You did it. You really did it." Charles smiled. "Yes, sir, I did. And I did it because you once told me my dreams were too big. That day, I promised myself I would prove you wrong. Not just for me, but for every child who dares to dream." Mr. Thompson hugged Charles tightly. "I was wrong, Charles. I'm so proud of you. You've taught me that no dream is too big and no person is too small to achieve greatness." Charles replied, "Thank you, sir. I hope every student who hears my story will believe in themselves, no matter what anyone says." The news of Charles's achievement spread throughout the town and beyond. People came from far and wide to see the hospital and meet the doctor who had turned his childhood dream into reality. Charles became a mentor to young students, encouraging them to chase their dreams, work hard, and never give up. Charles's parents lived to see their son's success. They were honored guests at the hospital's anniversary celebrations, and the community thanked them for raising a son who changed so many lives. As the years went by, Charles continued to serve his town with humility and compassion. He never forgot the struggles of his childhood, and he made sure that no one in his community ever felt alone or hopeless. Lesson: dreams are the seeds of greatness. They are not limited by your circumstances, your background, or the doubts of others. The world may laugh at your ambitions, but remember, every great achievement began as a dream in someone's heart. When you chase your dreams with honesty, hard work, and determination, you not only change your own life, but you inspire others to believe in themselves. Never let anyone tell you that your dreams are too big. The only limits that exist are the ones you accept. If you fall, get up. If you fail, try again. Every setback is a lesson. Every challenge is a stepping stone. And when you finally achieve what you set out to do, remember to lift others up, just as you once needed a helping hand. So, what is your dream? What is the one thing you want to achieve no matter how impossible it seems? Share your story in the comments. Let's inspire each other to chase our dreams, prove ourselves, and make the world a better place. One dream at a time.